Good news on Brexit. That's right. A surge in EU exports defies doom mongers. Did the Remainers get it wrong with their negative outlook when it comes to Brexit? Let's speak now to Andrew Allison, head of campaigns for the Freedom Association and the pro-Brexit group Better Off Out. Hello, Andrew.
Hello, Mark.
Well,
how are you this afternoon?
I'm very well, and I'm in a better mood having read these statistics, because we heard that international trade would collapse if we left the EU.
Oh, of course we did. Yeah, we had all sorts of horror stories. I was thinking this afternoon, I was in Melton Mowbray in February 2016. I was in a tag team with Kate Hoey, where we were championing Brexit and the Brexit cause. The amount of horror stories that we learned in that meeting and afterwards. I mean, you remember that the booklet that was posted through all our doors at great expense to the taxpayer that warned of all the doom and gloom, and it just hasn't happened, has it?
Well, indeed not. And clearly there was a correction in exports impacted significantly by lockdowns and the pandemic. But the only way is up going forward.
Yes, it is. I mean, that January figure was never really real, to be perfectly honest, because on both sides of the channel, businesses were stockpiling goods because they didn't quite know what was going to happen with all the new paperwork and the red tape. And of course, that's bounced back in February. But I would say to the government, make it easier for businesses as well. Try and get rid of a lot more red tape. And also, importantly, get rid of that Northern Ireland protocol that's causing so many problems with the border down the Irish Sea.
Well, indeed. Are you hopeful that there is the political will to get the protocol sorted?
Yes, there has to be. It's perfectly clear. I mean, I remember when I was umming and ahhing about Boris's deal, I sent a message to Kate Hoey, who I know a little,
yes.
And she persuaded me to sort of back it. She said, and I said, "But what about the Northern Ireland Protocol?" And she said, "Well, that will have to be changed." Well, it hasn't been changed, but I think we're seeing the mess that it's creating now. If Boris wants to have a clean break after this particular pandemic that we're enduring at the moment, then I think he's going to have to change that.
And do you think the ball is in the court of the EU? Because we've seen, haven't we, sectarian violence in the last week or so. Clearly, that's been incubating and fermenting because of the status of Northern Ireland, a border down the Irish Sea. Do you think the EU really carry the can for this one?
I'm not so certain that it's all about this border down the Irish Sea and the Northern Ireland Protocol. I don't know a lot about Northern Irish affairs, but I'm sure there's other things that's always going on in Northern Ireland politics. But one thing is for certain, it hasn't helped. And yes, of course, it is up to the EU to behave like a good neighbour, which it's supposed to be doing.
Indeed so. And do you think, I mean, ultimately, when it comes to this Northern Ireland Protocol, now that we've had the Brexit negotiations and we are out and we have the deal, perhaps it's less toxic. The relationship between the United Kingdom and the EU is one that can be more constructive. I mean, are you optimistic they will get this sorted?
I'm optimistic in the long term, yes. I don't know when that's going to happen. I mean, they are particularly antagonistic towards us at the moment because we did rather well on vaccines. We got there in early. We put our money where our mouth is, and we did the right thing. Of course, I've got a friend who's a British friend who I know very well. I used to work with at the European Parliament, who lives in Brussels. He's in his 60s and he's still waiting to get his first dose of the vaccine. I think that's next week or the week after. Weeks and weeks behind us in the UK. I mean, I got mine nearly 4 weeks ago and I've just turned 50. So there's still a lot of antagonism towards the UK in the EU, but eventually that will subside, and eventually we'll just get on with doing what we used to do and what businesses want to do, which is just to trade freely.
And there seems to be a concerted effort by many in the media to somehow prove their theory that Brexit was a bad idea, a Remain-dominated media still trying to attack the idea of Brexit.
Oh, yes. I mean, I was reading for my sins the BBC website earlier this afternoon.
You're a brave man.
You would think that well, I did it so nobody else has to, but you would think that the figures for February were disastrous. And you read on through the analysis and it's all doom and gloom. Come on. Every good parent wants the best for their children. They want a life better for their children than they have themselves. Surely we all want the best for the UK in the future. Come on, back your country.
Well, indeed. And we saw a bounce in trade with the EU in February that was up 46.6%. And it will continue to grow because the reality is that the politics of it are behind us now, Andrew. And both blocs, the EU and the UK, want to trade with each other. And the reality is that economics will win.
Yes, they will. And I also read, I think it was in the Telegraph earlier today, that French customs officials have said that the figures for March are more or less how they used to be before we left the European Union. So you can see it's clearly going in the right direction. There really is nothing to worry about. We just have to be optimistic, be proud of our country, and move forward.
Indeed so. And also, in terms of Brexit altogether with this Global Britain project, I mean, what are your thoughts about how we're doing with trade deals around the world, Andrew?
I think we're doing very well. I think Liz Truss is doing a magnificent job, in all fairness. I mean, some of these deals are deals that are rolled over from the EU, but a lot of them have significant extra benefits on top. And I really don't think that Liz Truss can be doing any more than she is doing at the moment. So I think that is looking very good for the future.
Are you concerned that the arrival of Joe Biden in the White House makes a trade deal with the United States less likely?
Well, that is up to Congress. And of course, it is a Democratic run Congress, both the House of Representatives and the Senate. So I think that's probably always made it a little less likely, but it doesn't mean that we're not going to get a trade deal. Maybe it wouldn't be as good as it should be. But again, these things are always works in progress. An economist once reminded me that trade deals oil the wheels of commerce, but they don't stop people trading. People who want to trade with each other will trade with each other. The easier we make it, the better, but it still doesn't stop trade.
Andrew, hand on heart, are you still backing Brexit? Was that the right thing to do?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, it is. And I think, going back to the vaccines program, if we'd thrown our lot in with the EU's vaccine procurement program, then we would not be in as good a position as we are now. We're now a free country. We can decide what we want to do, and we just need to move forward with optimism.
Now, Andrew, you have a union flag behind you. I'm not going to laugh about it or mock you or belittle you. In fact, I'm going to congratulate you, and Amy's going to help me do that. Let's keep the flags flying. Andrew, thanks very much for joining us. Let's do it again soon. Andrew Allison is the head of campaigns for the Freedom Association and the pro-Brexit group Better Off Out. If you disagree, do give me a call, 03444 999 1000.